On this episode, we welcome back Thomas Piper of Scrub Squad 1978, and we talk about his conference coming up in April, Healthcare Travelers Take Omaha. Now, that'll change every year. This year, it's Healthcare Travelers Take Omaha. Atlas All Access starts now. Thomas, welcome back.
Thank you.
So Jake Brower joins us again today. Just I think from a recruiter's perspective, I want to, as we talk through some of the details of the Healthcare Travelers Take Omaha conference coming up in April, it'd be interesting for you to ask some questions too, like, why should my nurse come to this? What other events are going to be, available?
You're
that
asking
type
all my
of thing.
questions.
Well,
I'm just kidding.
You're right. So, Thomas, let's get into it. Give me some of the details on the conference first off.
Okay, we're doing it at the Holiday Inn downtown Omaha. It will change every year, like you said. This year we're doing Omaha. Next year we're looking at Orlando and going different cities after that. It's basically like a mid-year conference to offset TravCon, which is huge in Vegas, and it's there every year. The concept for me was I wanted a conference that I could bring my family to. Like I have a 6-year-old little girl and a wife, and I don't think Vegas is appropriate for them. And neither does my wife. So, so that was the first thing that I wanted to. And we're travelers, and I don't like to go to the same place on vacation every year. So I thought we could rotate the cities and provide educational stuff for all the travelers, young and old, and brand new travelers versus, everybody. You can get your ACLS, your BLS, all those things there. We're doing a golf tournament or a golf outing, I guess, to raise money for autistic awareness. We're doing a 5K run that's going to benefit the Omaha Food Bank. So we're doing a local charity with that. So we're excited about all that.
So a lot of people have talked about this over the years, right? Doing maybe like a mid-year conference somewhere, something besides TravCon. What finally got you to say, all right, I'm going to do this. We're going to do it.
I think my wife was my driving point. She she hates that I go to Vegas every year. She has a preconception of Vegas, but I did when I was in college. I was part of the Student Nursing Association for the state of Ohio. So we did a conference for that. I went to the mid-year conference for the National Student Nursing Association and their regular one every year. So I knew it could be done. I knew they could do a large conference and then a mid-year conference as well to try to supplement that. Not everybody wants to go to Vegas every year, which, that's up to them. But and not a lot of people can go to Vegas every year. So we're doing, some East Coast cities and then, looking at other places in the future like Austin and San Antonio and San Diego and some other places like that to give some variety that people want to go to.
So from a traveler's perspective, Jake, let's say you're talking to a nurse for the first time, right? And they say, hey, I saw this online. Like, give me some motivation as to why you should say, you should definitely come to this. Like, why should you come to Omaha in April?
Well, it's nice that it's Omaha to start. I don't know why Omaha necessarily, but if nothing else, there's a little bit of a draw for the fact that we're here. So my nurses can come and we can, hang out, have fun, maybe meet for the first time. I think for a traveler, that's probably, whether it's Vegas or a mid-year conference like this, one of the main motivations is being able to meet some of the people that they work with, and be surrounded for an extended period of time by people who understand them and, enjoy the same things, see the same, perspective on life, all that kind of stuff. And so I think for my travelers, it's the biggest draw is probably getting to connect with their agency, with me, with each other for a couple of days.
And so, Thomas, from your perspective, in the role that you're in right now, outside of your everyday nursing role, like if you're talking to nurses, say on the Facebook group or whatever, what is your pitch to them? What is your motivation for them to come?
Well, we wanted to provide a more intimate setting where, like Jake said, where you can meet your recruiters. Because there's, I don't know, like 17 different agencies in Omaha, which is kind of why we started it in Omaha, to get people to come and meet their companies. Because the relationship side of things is important to me. It's not important to everybody. I know that people out there just want their recruiters to call them when they're looking for jobs and stuff like that. But for me, the relationship based, that's how I met Hannah. That's how I met Atlas in general. But all of my recruiters, except for one, I met at TravCon, and really base it on that relationship. And we're going to have extra breaks, longer breaks, so people can sit down and break bread or sit and just chat with their recruiters and their companies and get to know them a little better, and not be like rushed through the whole process. So
I think that's one of the things that I'm most excited for as the planning has kind of happened around all of this, and that's why I've held back on maybe planning some stuff outside for our nurses or any of the nurses that are here, is how different it may feel because of the 5K run, because of the golf outing. Like at TravCon, and I love going to Vegas. I think TravCon's a lot of fun. I have a ton of fun meeting new nurses there every year. I look forward to it every year. I just kind of like the glamour and glitz of Las Vegas anyway. It's just it's just one of my things. But I'd like the opportunity to meet those nurses and the events that we do outside of the regular conference, whereas this is actually integrated into the conference now.
Yeah, that is very cool. I mean, I think that what will always be a reality for travelers is the fact that the most important person to their job is their recruiter, right? And most of them live their entire travel experience without ever meeting that person face to face. And I've only been doing this for a little over a year, and I've learned very, very quickly the power of face-to-face interaction. And so I really love the idea of creating space where you can not only meet, but maybe potentially get to know somebody on a deeper level and in a more intimate kind of a way. And I think that the way that can change a nurse's experience is just off the charts.
Mm-hmm. Thomas, break down for me the different in-conference events that we're going to have. I mean, you mentioned the ACLS, BLS, that type of thing, and then maybe the the other companies that are going to be here too.
We have currently 25 different exhibitors, and a couple more emails that are coming in from people that are interested in it. But pretty much if you can name a company, Medical Solutions, Atlas, Primetime Healthcare, Arias, like any company that's in Omaha is basically coming. We have Premier Medical Group coming from Wisconsin, and they're one of our largest sponsors. So we're excited to have them. They sponsored the keynote speaker, and we're going to have recruiter panels, which Jake's going to take part in. We're going to have a CEO panel that's going to be moderated by Moxie Mentor. So they're going to handle all that, the questions. We actually have a question poll on Facebook right now that you can win a free ticket to our event. Whoever comes up with the best question for the CEO panel. So we have a lot of stuff going on. Pete's doing a talk on concealed carry. We're doing a talk on like safety, and like damsel in distress is going to be there. Kind of different things for travelers, especially, I mean, this field is 90% women. So it's a good topic to have. We're looking forward to it. There's going to be a lot of interesting things going on, and just an intimate time to sit down and talk to everybody.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It'll be a nice, intimate setting where it'll introduce a lot of people to that kind of the Omaha travel nursing world that we all live in every single day. Yep. That we're used to, with, like you said, virtually every company in Omaha is going to be there. So, all right. So, Thomas, finally, where do you see this going? Like, what's your long-term vision for this?
I just want to continue to grow it, get the word out. Like I said, next year we're talking about Orlando, and then we're looking at different places in Texas, perhaps the next year. But just a collaboration of different groups. There's 4 different groups that are putting this conference on. Kind of like we hold the swag event at TravCon. There's Adventures in RV Traveling, Scrub Squad, Gypsy Soul, and Wanderlust, which has a new owner, by the way. Chelsea took that over. But even more groups, more collaboration, other groups out there Alex from Fit Travel Life was going to do it this year. She was going to host a run, but her work schedule didn't allow that. So we just want to collaborate with people, get people to understand what traveling's about, get to know each other, get to know their recruiters, and go from there. Because we're all in this together. I don't, the TravCon people and us, we don't look at it as competition. We look at it as supplementing each other. And they've been really helpful in everything they've done. But we just want to grow the conference and get the truth out there for, the facts, I guess, for travel nursing out there, instead of what's on Facebook all the time where people, input their opinion they heard one time from their second cousin's wife or something that, a tax home is this, So we just want to, the travelers to be educated on what's the right way to do things and not get in trouble through the IRS or anybody else. So.
I think it's going to be, like I said, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait for April. So it's give me one more time the dates and then where it's going to be held in Omaha.
It's April 5th and 6th. The CPR and the golf tournament is the day before. And it's a downtown holiday in Omaha on Cumming Street, I think it's called.
Cumming Street.
Cumming Street.
Yep.
Cumming Street.
Mm-hmm.
So it's downtown, and then the 5Ks at the park right down the road. So everything's real close, and we're going to go to Old Market and hopefully have some fun there.
I can only speak because I live here in Omaha. The Old Market is really cool.
It's awesome. Yep.
It is a fun place. I can't wait for everybody to come to our home and see where we live every day and participate in some of those events. So I'm super excited, Thomas. I held on to this for a while. I want to announce our first after event. Those are big for us. We talk about this place all the time. It's our favorite brewery in Omaha. And I know you've been out there with me at least once, maybe twice. Cross Train Brewing, we're going to do our first, our after event on Friday. I don't have a time just yet because I don't want to conflict with anything that's happening at the conference, but we're going to do our first after event. It'll be a limited number of people there at Cross Train. I will get details out on the Healthcare Travelers Take Facebook group and then the Atlas and Friends group once it gets closer. So that's why I was wearing my shirt
Beautiful.
today.
And you can't come to Omaha without having the fairy nectar. You just can't do it.
That's exactly right.
If you don't, have you actually been to Omaha?
You have not.
You have not.
No. So, yeah. So, but Thomas, I'll get that information out when once it gets a little bit closer.
Sounds good.
So, all right. Well, thank you. I can't wait. This is gonna be a blast. Jake, thanks for being with us today.
Absolutely. Thank you, Thomas. Looking forward to meeting you and being part of this thing.
Cool. Thank you.
All right. We'll see you in April.